that song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Well, we've finally gotten out of the years that we are living.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
For the episode numbers, it's episode 2021. I haven't lived that year yet. All the other years I've lived except for the ones before 1968. I didn't live any of those years. So we're at episode 2021. Sounds like fun. Next year, hopefully we'll have that coronavirus on the run. But I don't know. Looks like it's around.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's around for a while anyway. So, Cafe Anyway, thank you for showing up today.
Mike's
somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
Daily
Ton. And
Podcast.
Looks like I'll have another podcast for you tomorrow.
Yeah!
Because I got to get up early because of things like people not being able to go to work and I have to fill in for them. So, you know what? I'm not expendable. I'm indispensable? Is that the word? Dr. Deborah Birx, the White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator, said social distancing measures will be with us through the summer in an effort to protect each other. She also said she's concerned about states reopening before meeting federal guidelines as businesses in states like Georgia weigh the health risks of welcoming back customers. And the big question that even people that don't think this coronavirus thing is legit, people that think that, oh, we should be all going back to work, we should all be essential, even those people are going, the tattoo parlors, and I hate doing this, but really, don't ever do that, but I just did it because I felt for a second I was back in the 90s again and I could do that. It's just not tattoos, really. You just can't, you can't say tattoos without going really these days. They're just part and parcel. Parcels. Remember parcels? Remember when we weren't afraid of parcels? Folks, coronavirus can't live on a parcel unless someone sneezes on it and hands it to you right there. Then you basically could catch it if that person had coronavirus, but I'm not going to go.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And if you would like something very funny, please watch Kate McKinnon with her cat, pretending that it's a bunch of cats, pretending she's in some kind of animal shelter trying to give away cats. And she gets a little lewd talking about Brazilian waxes and cats and all that. And, well, it's pretty funny. Saturday Night Live. So here's the thing. They used to be called Saturday Night Live. I think they got to drop the live part because they're obviously not live anymore. They can't be. And the amount of editing that goes into those videos, Basil's just disgusted. All the stuff they fix and post. It's not live. I'm basically live to tape right now. I very seldom ever stop the tape and go, I'm going to chop this whole part out. Oh, you know what I just did? I just chopped out 20 minutes. No, I didn't. I kept, you would probably notice. You generally can notice when there's been some editing done in audio. It's a little less obvious than with video. Video, you can tell without a doubt that there's been a chop cut done. The thing is, in the video world, thank you, Basil the Boxer, for popping in there to express your opinion. The thing with video, the video world, is we are so used to when we watched YouTube, and if you're into comedy type videos, you're just used to the jump cuts. They're really awful cuts, like they're done by someone who's never edited anything before. And I've never edited any video in my life. Audio I've edited like you wouldn't believe. I can edit. I don't even have to hear the audio and I can edit words. I know the sound waves of a word. I just can visually tell you, that's an I can tell you what that word is by just looking at the sound wave. Which, by the way, fascinating enough, if you are a fan of Cowboy Bebop, the guy that was the lead character, the kid, the main character, Cowboy Bebop, I forget who that is. Forgive me if I'm not an anime fan. But that is, the last thing he says, he's being faced by all these guys that are about to assassinate him. It's a pretty violent cartoon, Cowboy Bebop. And all these guys are about to shoot him, and that's how it ends. Sorry, spoilers. I should have said that first. Dang it. But that's been out now for what, 20 years? That cartoon's pretty old by now. And he knows he's about to get shot by all these guys, these assassins. And he points his finger at them like a gun. And he goes, bang. And that audio, that sound wave, that actor had such a connection to that character. And I guess it opened so many doors for him to be the lead guy in Cowboy Bebop that he had, speaking of tattoos, he had the tattoo of that sound wave put on his arm, the forearm area. Interestingly enough, I find that fascinating. Would I ever do that? Heck no. So people, there's this thing called coronavirus, and you're going to go and get a tattoo? You're going to get a tattoo that says, I survived COVID-19? And then what, you're going to die of COVID-19 because you're going to get it through the ink? But Mike, you can't get COVID-19 through ink. Yeah, you don't know that. I don't know that, but you don't know that. It's still the mystery disease, don't you know? There's so many things we don't know. It can die out in the ultraviolet light. It's like a vampire. It dies if it's outside after like just a minute or two. Or does it? I do know one thing is that there's a whole lot of woohoo out there on the internet that we can't necessarily trust or believe, but cafe anyway. Oh, by the way, 6 new symptoms. The CDC, now they're the ones that pretty much write the book on all this stuff, right? They're the ones we believe. The CDC now says there are 6 new possible coronavirus symptoms. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and a new loss of taste and smell. Also, trouble breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, new confusion or an inability to arouse. Well, that's interesting. What's that mean? And bluish lips or face. If you're bluish. Okay. I'm trying to find a little bit more info about what I just read to you, and I'm not seeing it, but new confusion or inability to arouse is in there. Some patients may have aches and pains, nasal congestion, sore throat, or diarrhea, reads the WHO's website. These symptoms are usually mild and begin gradually. Some people become infected but only have very mild symptoms. While about 80% of people recover from the disease without needing hospital treatment, as we go outside of Cafe Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley 10, and everybody is 8 feet apart and have those bulletproof things in between them. Which, by the way, you can buy 5 for $50 each if you go to the website that has a stuff for hanging up pictures. That's like the stsomethings.com. I forget. But yes, they're selling it there $50 each. Usually they're about $250 each, those things that you're seeing at stores. The plastic bulletproof shields in front of them. But the WHO warns that around 1 out of every 5 people who gets COVID-19 becomes seriously ill and develops difficulty breathing. And that's where we have the issue. Is if you already have problems breathing, this is not good for you, as you know. So many people have died from it. Okay. The other thing is, people now, because they can't go out, and all the wonderful hairstylists and barbers have been closed because they're not considered essential. People are getting horrible haircuts. So maybe we should list these people as essential now. But yes, horrible haircuts. I am bald, as you can see from the podcast picture to the last one. Ooh, today's podcast picture is of cows. Because we were discussing cows last podcast and how so much of the milk is just spoiling, and because it's not getting to market, so farmers are having to dispose of it, and that's just sad. So the cow there that you see in the podcast picture, this picture taken 2 years ago. That's right. 2 years ago, and these 2 cows were very close to me, so I thought I'd take a picture. And one of them looks really angry. He might have mad cow disease. Hopefully he doesn't have COVID-19. That's even worse, apparently. So yeah, Saturday Night Live has done a couple of funny things. They brought back the What's Up With That skit that, is it Kenan Thompson does? And, but like all of this, to make it funny, to make it very funny, Saturday Night Live is using lots of graphics, and they're having to take something that was taped earlier and chop it up and edit it and make it look good. And it's funny. It makes you laugh, like the governor of Wisconsin, Cecily Strong, does a really good job with that. And it's pretty laughable because she is being harangued by her, just being harassed by her constituents, even though she's putting down the same rules that Gavin Newsom is. It's funny. She calls Gavin Newsom the choke me king, something like that. It's pretty funny. Okay, then it made me humorous, funny laugh. And then there's Paul Rudd makes a guest appearance talking to one of the people that's making fun of, I guess, people getting in touch with people they haven't talked to in a long time, like cousins. And she says, "Do you remember when we kissed?" To Paul Rudd, and it's his cousin, you know, and it's. But the Kate McKinnon with the cat is good. They do some funny things with that. Oh, and the Dominican lunch one with the big papa guy cooking. And first you need a big pot, and then you throw everything in there. And that was good. Okay, just to say that you should really watch some funny things. But in the end, Saturday Night Live should drop the live. It's not live anymore. And people have been enjoying it, not on when it broadcasts initially, but through the internet, through the viral stuff. So it might as well just become Saturday Night Viral, because it just rarely is. It should be SNV now. And there's people are catching all the funny stuff afterwards, after it airs, once it's been posted. And the live skits are never that funny anyway. It's always the stuff that has been chopped up, the Lonely Island stuff, the little movies that they do. They've always been fantastic. All right, that's all I had to say about that. Hey, we're outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton, the last place on earth with cows, in the podcast picture, which you can see at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Now we're on Radio.com, which actually, good luck trying to find it on Radio.com, but apparently the show is on Radio.com, so woohoo there. And Radio.com advertises, they get every single radio station on the planet to advertise Radio.com one way or another. But we're outside a cafe anyway. Let's say hi to some people. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How's you doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Tell you what.
What?
I don't understand why everybody got to stay inside. We should be outside in the great outdoors. I should be able to walk on down, get my hair cut, and eat ribs at the booth in a restaurant and get those little handy wipes, and that'd be great.
Chevy Chase is his character in Community. He, at one time, I guess, was the creator of the little handy wipes. The wet, what do you call them? The wet ones. The wet ones? Wet and dry. No? Wet naps. Is that it? One of those things.
Yeah, okay.
Community, also. What's the other interesting thing about Community is that, John Oliver's in it. Before he got to be the huge, This Week Tonight guy, HBO. Does a fantastic job. By the way, he did a podcast called The Bugle. I don't know if he still does it. He does it with a friend of his, or he did do it with a friend, where it was basically just lampooning all the latest current event stuff, news stories. The only problem I had with it is he reads everything. Everything was pre-written. That's why it's funny, I guess. If you write stuff out ahead of time, find the joke and work through it over and over again. And joke writing is so exciting. So, but I guess it has an end result that makes John Oliver the funniest guy on the planet. So there you go. So you can see that. If you're looking for something, it's on Netflix these days. South Korean churches are reopening with designated seats and size limits. This is interesting because I find, worshipers have to keep their distance, wear masks. Because I heard a discussion with some San Francisco theater people trying to reopen theaters in San Francisco and saying we want to do it, but like, what if we made sure everyone was at least 6 feet apart? In other words, not sell as many. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention Dr. Fauci was played by Brad Pitt on Saturday Night Live. And it just shows Dr. Fauci going, what the heck, after everything Trump says. And it's pretty funny. You got to see that, Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt does a wonderful tribute to Dr. Fauci at the end, saying thank you for at least fact-checking and giving us the real truth, and keep on doing it. Give us the truth, Dr. Fauci. Fauci truth. As we work off our COVID-19 pounds. Or is it the quarantine 15 that we've all gained? Or is it the COVID-19? Whatever you want to call it. At any rate, so is that something that's going to happen? Where we're going to be able to finally see performances if we keep 6 feet apart? Is that going to work out for the company that is producing whatever show? They're not going to sell as many tickets, but they charge more for each ticket. Is that something you'll put up with? I don't think people will put up with that, but who knows? Anyway, what other person we got to say hi to?
Oh, Mike, I make the least troop there has to right now. Oh, boy, I'll cut you.
And there's no coronavirus in this?
Sure, okay, whatever. No Clorox either. Oh, boy.
No Clorox. Excellent. Dang, I missed the beach. I want to go to the beach. Maybe I'll bring a parcel with me. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Thank you for listening to 2021. Take it away, Ariel.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!